Welcome to Yeshiva Daf Shir sponsor Lui Nishba Sam Yakoshom Napasitzchok. We're holding in Metzia Daf Kuf Yud Gimel. We're starting in the Mishnah on Amud Aleph. So the Mishnah. Hamal ves Chaveiru lo yiveshkenenu elo bebeizin. Someone who lends to his friend, he should not take a mashkoin unless he goes to Bezin.
We're talking about, according to Rashi, he is Mablei Parla. It's mashman, they didn't take the mashkoin.
Oh, the Gemara didn't speak about it. Very good. V'lo yikanes lebeisoi litu mashkoin. Should not go into his house to take a mashkoin. She'emar b'chutz ta'amoid. Stay outside. So the Gemara is going to ask, you just said you can take it, and now you say you can do it himself. What does it mean? Hayul shnei kelim, he has two vessels. Noitel echod u'maniach echod. So one he could take. In other words, he has to make sure that he leaves one for the borrower to keep. And as the Mishnah is going to explain, as Rashi says, the Emshech Mishnah is the explanation of the Mishnah. The pillow you bring back in the night. The plower you give back in the day. There's no din to give it back to the Yoshim, only to him himself. Only 30 days. After 30 days, you don't have to give it back anymore. He has 30 days for him to pay, or you sell it. We'll see in the Gemara a little more about that.
Yeah, but is it mashma moichem bebezdin? But if he doesn't moichem bebezdin, he still has to give it back after 30 days, or he has allotted the moichem once.
Meaning, after 30 days, it's time to sell. That's the Ikar point. Shliach Bezdin minatech netuchi. Shliach Bezdin he goes in the market, Rashi points out, and he takes a mashka in the market. It doesn't come into someone's house. He grabs from the market in the market. So minatech netuchi he can't go into his house. So Adam Malvis Chaver lo mishkerenu elo Bezdin. Chaver Bezdin minashkin.
Even in the house.
Masher Bezdin, you take a mashka. Even nituach, which is only to grab it out, you do it only Bezdin. And Allah don't even do that. How can I understand? That makes sense. Can I say so don't go into his house, take a mashka. What are you talking about? We just said you have to go to Bezdin. We're talking about Shel Bezdin. Saying Bezdin person, don't go into the house. Without your explanation, I would say the following. And what it means over here is really a chasur mechsa v'aritani. And as Toys points out, it's a very strange chasur mechsa. Usually chasur mechsa is, I'm stuck. I don't know what to say. So I say, you know what? Toichek. Let's assume, we probably have to say that there's missing your sentence. Here's the tchiyah. Here, I have an explanation of the Mishnah. So, no, don't say the explanation. I can just say chasur mechsa. Toys points out, it's a very strange chasur mechsa. So what's a chasur mechsa? Hamalvis chaver lo mishkerenu elo bebeizin. Don't do mashka bebeizin. Chal de beizin mashka, it can be a full mashka. Ubalchoy, if you're tuchay nameloi. Even just to grab out in the market, you should not do it. Gzeiro, shaloi kes the beis of the tovashkrat, the Bach adds. I don't let you do anything. Why? Because you should not go do mashka. That's what it means. Okay. So, it says that you should not take from his house, which is the grinder, and what we put the grinder on, the thing that holds it, because that's his nephew. That's what he needs in order to parnasa. Right? Nothing else he could take. Don't take the clothing almona. So, who are we talking about? It says don't go in the house at all. Allah Shir Bezdin. Mashi goes into the house. He takes everything but these things. You want to be over two live. It's two live. One live, you're not allowed to do it. And also, specifically, these items, if you take them, you have another life. Stand outside. It says don't go in, stay outside. And the one who's outside will bring you the mashka. In other words, the Shliach Bezdin, what does it mean? That he will go into the house. As Rashi says, one of the two can go in. Either Shliach Bezdin or that. So the same way the lawyer goes into his house to take a mashka, Shliach Bezdin doesn't. Same way you could begin with base. Loy. Share base come out the opposite. Share base b'chutz ta'amoid. V'ha'ishu share base who's also b'amoid. Toshba. Im chavol tichbol salmas recho. Share base the cosmedab. It says if you take away the mashkin, chavol tachbol is not shel mashkin. So it's talking about share base. Maybe talk about a lender. It says, don't go into the house. So he said, don't go. Already said, don't go. So we're talking about the we should go. So why should we take even from the house? Right? Because it says, ilachbo means to go in the chayvler. Says the Gemara, Tanoi. Tanya. Shler beis shabal mashkoroy lekeres beis soy the mashkoroy. Should I go to the house? Elohim b'chutz v'ala moitzi lo mashkoroy shlemar b'chutz ta'amoid v'oish. That's what we said before. V'oish kutz shler beis. V'tani yidus another brayso. Ba'achoy shabal mashkoroy lo yikares beis soy mashkoroy. Elohim b'chutz v'ala nichroy so moitzi mashkoroy. If you have a ba'achoy, a lender, who's going to mashkoroy, should I go to the house? Shlemar b'chutz ta'amoid. The shtir beis shabal mashkoroy. If you have shtir beis din. He could take it. Don't take things he needs to his parnasa. That's number one. And they shouldn't hang v'noisen mito umito umatzo. He has to leave in two beds and a blanket. The matzo is like the blanket they use for sleeping. Le'oshir, like it's like right. Le'oshir, for the rich. It has to be for the same. The ashir has the matzo, which is a little more expensive, and the mapot is something which is a little less, and that's like that type of mattress type of blanket. That's something that you can use for sleeping. You leave for the on. Loy, he only has he's responsible for him, not for the wife and kids. That's not part of the pasuk. Pasuk is specifically the loy. The same way you do siddur, you do berach. What is siddur? Siddur means that you take into account that he needs a minimum amount. You don't take from everything. You need to give him his minimal livelihood. You have to leave by him. You can't leave him naked. So that's called misadru. Misadru means we arrange to make sure he doesn't take too much. The same way you do balchoy, to do berachin. Erchin is that when a person comes and says erki alai, he gives based in he gives hekdish the erich. So then he has a din that misajur. So where is it turning to? The fact is that siddur we learn from Berchin that Rashi, as Rashi brings, it says v'im machu me'erkecho hachiehu me'erkecho. Make sure to give him livelihood. So you learn from there. So why are you saying the erech is like balachoyev? The same way you do misajin, so you do misajin. Given two beds for the Ashir, give two beds for the honey. Says the Gemara, the man. We give him two. He let me leash to the bone of the If you want to tell me, give it a little bit for his wife. How much level leash to the bone of the He's not responsible for the bone of the well, for him. Title Amali, why need both? One bed he eats on it, the other bed he sleeps in it. Why can he use the same bed for eating and sleeping? Shmuel was a doctor, as we saw earlier. He was a doctor, so he said, I am a doctor, I know how to heal everything. There's three things I don't know how to heal. Someone who eats these green vegetables, a green tamar, I should say, a type of date, a bitter date, alibo when he's empty before he eats. Someone who puts on his thighs, he puts a wet cloth, a belt, which is wet cloth. So also makes him sick. Someone who eats bread and then before he goes to sleep, he doesn't walk 4 hours. And that's what we're saying. That's why you give him 2 beds. And you make sure that the beds are 4 hours from each other. One bed is where he eats, then he walks 4 hours and where he sleeps. That's his exercise. The same idea that we said that you do Sidur Ba'ech and you Sidur Ba'achoif. You have to get the living his livelihood. So what do you mean? We are going to sell him, right? We're going to sell the item, sorry. After, like Rashi says, so what do you mean you do a Sidur? You're selling away his items. So the Gemara, what do you mean you sell? So you have to give it back. So what Tana Kabishim Galil Tana Kamin. We learn like Kabishim Galil and the Mishnah. What do you do with the item? You sell it. Sadurma, you do a siddur that you don't take out as maximum you could. And now see, we're talking about the livelihood. He needs his pillow. You take the pillow and you sell it. So the more who say he meant to sell completely? He gives it the way it is. What it means is not that you sell everything. You get when he's still first 30 days you bring back everything. You don't sell it. After 30 days, you sell whatever he doesn't need, and you leave him when he needs. But you still leave him when he needs. Something more What do you mean? There's everything he needs. I mean, doesn't need. They all agree that Am Yisrael, they're all considered to be Bnei Melochim. Shimon Gamliel would learn that now lois a luf, lois a chardol, then Shabbos. You don't take the luf in the chardol because that you're not allowed to move it on Shabbos because it's not something that you can use on Shabbos. Because nobody eats luf and chardol. You do use luf. You give the luf to the ravens. Ravens? Who has ravens? Rich people. Call you so bnei melochim. Rav Shimon Adam bnei melochim sochim shemen vered al gebim hakesayim b'Shabbos sheken darkom nusu b'chor. Bnei melochim princes put shemen vered, this oil, on their wound on Shabbos because that's what they do every day. So it's not considered to be refuah. Shimon Omer called Yisrael bnei melochim. All am Yisrael bnei melochim. Shoy Rav Akiva the Tanya Harishon Nishim Boyel Zuz v'Lavush Itzo Basmei Amone. He owes $1,000, and he has a beautiful clothing which is worth 100. Mavshitim, sorry, is Elav Zuz, and this is Mea Amone, which is 100. Sorry, so it's worth much more. So Mavshitim Oiso, Bibeno Shiboto eats the law. How are you alive? Give him clothing; it's good for him. Time Shav Yishmael, the time Shav Akiva, call Yisrael Wim Loiso eats the law. Everybody in Am Yisrael is royal. They all can have their very, very fancy clothing. So you see over here, the Bnei Melachim, so there's no such thing. As Shimon Gamliel, you see, he's not going to say you give him what he deserves because he deserves everything. So that's why that can't be the pshat. So you see from here, the according to Shimon Gamliel, you don't give it back. So when I say the academy court, the Yerb L'May Techazli was doing L'May Techazli, you give him what he according to the Havamina, that you do sell only what he doesn't need. Israel Karvi Keset Chazile the Beini Beini. So Mishmal Karvi Keset, you could say that we sell it, meaning you're going to give him a less of a pillow. You don't have to have such a fancy pillow. What does a machesha work for? What does a plow work for? You need to use it for plowing. He has a silver plow. So Rashi will talk about plowing the field. What do we do with a silver plow? It doesn't make sense. Toises and Omudal is very long places. It's not actually not that long, but there's Toises. Toises there discusses, and he says that a machresha is not talking about a machresha that you use for plowing. We're talking about a machresha, it's a brush they use to scratch the back. Some people have silver. In fancy for the base of markets. Barabo, machresha the kas. Matkulav chagav leimale lav alai karamis. Why can the lender say, why is it my responsibility to pay for you? Says the Gemara, Abaye says Abaye, the Kufidalum Dalef, Ivra Likrom is on him. Why? Yushinemar Velecho Tiye Tzedakah. Yeah, there's a tzedakah to Baal Chayv, and Rashi says, Rami, Shel Tzedakah Shekatubi Tilolov Asad Tzedakah Lalech Lefanav. So you do have to do it. So according to this understanding, the Gemara right now, you do Siddur Baal Chayv. Baal Chayv has to make sure that he has enough, and there's a Tvi on the Baal Chayv, he has to have it. And the Gemara says, according to Yeshiva Gamliel, of course not. Right? And we're going to see in the next step, Be'ez Hashem, that now everybody agrees, and not only that, Tosh wants to say that the halacha is, we'll see next daf, that you don't do Siddur Ba'al Chayv, as we'll see in a moment. Let's stop this in this daf.